Hello again to my Libra friends. Thanks for tuning in for another week. We're going to do a tarot spread for you, but also using the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. This is going to be the time frame for this. Well, what I'm aiming for is for roughly a week ahead. You know, about a week from whenever you watch this. But sometimes if the energy feels a little bit longer, I might pull a timing card. It just depends. But it's supposed to be for about a week around when you watch this. So calling in guides, calling in angels, calling in anyone from the highest good for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead, please. What do we have for Libra? Okay. Ooh. So, bottom of the deck, Four of Pentacles. I should probably just take that. Okay, what do we have here? So this week, I've got like a flux of messages coming in here. It's like abundance and deception's over. Okay, so, but we have the Ace of Fire in reverse. So, all right. Let's start with these. We have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Swords, but it's in reverse. So, I want to talk about waiting. Been waiting for something more. It's kind of like, well, I want to talk about breadcrumbs. Like there's been a little couple of snippets maybe, but we weren't sure. It wasn't enough to be sure, put it that way. And it felt deceptive almost. Like it was kind of like, well, I mean, are you leading me on or are you not? I mean, what is this? Because it seems, you know, so what's the deal? So the Seven of Swords is like, especially in, it's like the mask comes off and then there's balance is what I'm really long-windedly trying to get at here. Because the Seven of Swords in reverse, that's, I mean, it's not necessarily getting caught, but it's like, I'm hearing getting caught up. It's like getting caught up in emotion. Like there was, like, the reason it was stagnant was because of emotion. Which is funny because there's no cups here. But then we have the Ace of Fire in reverse. So it's like, I also think that this Mercury needs to go turn right back around. The Seven of Swords, that's you know, communication, right? Knowledge. And it's like the balance is back, but it's it's not hot. It's like hot and cold. See the red and the blue? I like that. Because now it's like grounded, rooted. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that. So it might have been like, this is the way that it started out. As just like that. And it's almost like you can do them like this, like in a row. Starts out like this. Okay. As this, probably sex, hot, steamy, whatever. And then, but it was like deceptive because we didn't know where it was going to go. And there is the waiting and there's the, you know, it doesn't feel mean or hateful or whatever. It just feels hot, cold. Right? But then here comes the earthing, the grounding. And when you have the grounding and the balance, then you have this like tree of abundance. And it's funny, I think that the Four of Pentacles is here, because this was at the bottom of the deck. And typically for these weeklies, I haven't been looking at the bottom of the deck. I mean, I just kind of do, like, I'm just vibing, right? I just do whatever, basically whatever I feel like. But I saw it and I wanted to, and it's like, because I think that with this hot cold, because this is like, I feel like it's like hot cold, bam bam, like it was on then off, or maybe not even on then off, or it was more like this might have been even like out of nowhere, because it was like this before. So if there was like another cold card here, it would be here. It's like cold, hot, cold. And so it's got Libra with these scales, you know, this is the Six of Pentacles, guys. The scales like, goosh, 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 like scales this way, scales that way. What do we do? What do we do? How do we do? And I think might be some Libras who are like just ready, you know, at least in the week ahead, just like, I'm done. I'm going to give up on this. This is crazy town. And then you have this card here that's like, maybe just hold on. Maybe just for a minute. And it touched the Angelite card. I love Angelite. It's dirty. I need to get it cleaned up. But I usually keep my stones in my plants, particularly when I take them outside. No disrespect. It's earthy. Anyway, this is like, and my point is that the Angelite stone or Angelite, I pronounce everything wrong. It's supposed to call in angels, right? And this is just a raw, open one. And so I touched that, but here it is for this. And this might be, and she's got wings too. So maybe you have guides and angels who are like, just hold on, you know? Because look, I never noticed that before. She has a butterfly in her hand. And that's metamorphosis. That's change. That's, you know, and then there's orbs around. And it's almost like instead of these being pentacles, they might be orbs. So some of you might have 4 spirit guides. And this is you with the the changes. It's almost in your hands, you know. That was kind of a cool message. So I think that's there for a reason. Like this hot cold, it might be like that because that's like the ticking of the wheel of fortune. I will not be surprised at all if that card comes out, because that's what it feels like. Things are ticking into place, and then when that happens, the time's right. And then what happens when the time's right is you get this like tree of abundance. This is abundance. This is like, it's been growing and growing, and it might be the hot cold, you know, the day and the night, the day and the night, the day and the night. And then while this cycle is happening, people are getting to know each other, time is changing, divine timing is happening, things are lining up and coming into space, and then bam, you get this like awesome tree of abundance for you. And I also heard right for picking. So let's see what the fairies have to say about all of this. Fairies come out to play. And it's not just the fairies. I mean, come on. I know that's what it's called, but there are so many characters in the middle world. If you're into Native American shamanic culture, neo-shamanic culture, there's all kinds of creatures there, and they are cool, and they know stuff. And a lot of them are represented in this deck, which is why I like to read them. So, who's coming out this week for Libra, please? You, yoink. Oh! See, this is what I'm talking about. This is Epona's wild daughter. So, I kind of want to be like, this is Libra. Right here. And Libra's freaking out. And that's this, right? This hot, cold, hot, cold. It's all this. And this is where I'm like, I'm just going to give up. But then here comes Epona's wild daughter. And she's one of the moon, these glowy folks. These are my moon people. She's one of the daughters of the moon. She comes down, and it's like and this is how I'm interpreting it this time, is that she comes down and she's like, while there's all this sadness happening, and like, I just want to be like, see, like I told you so. But she comes down and she's like lighting the way, because I just heard she knows better. She's got a smirk on her face. Like she knows something that she doesn't know. And here we have an owl, and owl medicine is basically, you know, one of the paths one of the pieces of the medicine of the owl is wisdom and time. And so I think that maybe this, because it hasn't happened fast enough, this Libra's like, it's maybe not even fast enough, or but like as loud, or as, because I think there was a thought that it was always going to stay hot, but it went hot, cold, grounded, or it's going to go hot, cold, grounded. But with Epona's wild daughter here, I think this is like another, this might be like one of these pentacles coming down, like, shh, like, calm your little self, like, we've got this, because she's completely confident. This person is not confident. But it's not even a confidence issue. It's a dang, I wanted this real bad issue. And it's slipping away. It feels like it's slipping away. Who else do we have coming up for Libra this week? Whoops. So we have Tabira of the Waters. She talks about accepting change gracefully. And here we have another indication of change with the butterfly. And these were in reverse, so I want to make sure they stay. And I think that's what this change is that the mask is coming off. And it's going from maybe a fair, you know, like deceptive hot, and then hot cold because they can't talk or whatever, to something where emotions are shared. And then that's where the balance comes from. Because it feels like one person in this scenario doesn't feel, I guess, reciprocated is a good word. Thanks. You know, like, it feels unrequited-y, but at the same time it doesn't. It felt really good. And so Tabira of the Waters comes in, and I think maybe this is like, it turns into, I know I've been talking about steam a lot lately with the fire sign and the water sign. But she comes in and and this is what I'm saying. It's like, she's got it in her hands, but this person here, I don't know if you can see this or not. It might supposed to be looking like she wants to embrace it, but the way that I'm seeing is it looks like she's resisting it. Like, doesn't want these emotions to flow. And they're going to flow hard. It's like shock. There's going to be, it's not an outburst. This is not like bad emotions. This is a change from hot, sexy, deceptive to like grounded, understanding. Enough to create a tree of abundance, put it that way. So this is like that, while this person is like resisting it, this Tabira is a lot bigger. Her emotions and her ability to like spread the emotions. And then here again we have these angelic creatures watching up from above, and then here we have them again watching, and like they're all happy. Well, this one here is not happy. But there's people like watching. But the point is that we have one person, this is probably Libra here, or at least let's say the feminine, who is distraught because we're feeling like this hot, cold, like I want to be like meant to be, not meant to be, meant to be, not meant to be. Like like the daisy that you pick off the forget-me-not or whatever. And I think it's making her a little crazy. But then you have the masculine over here in his feels, who is kind of being like these emotions, and like it's all, I don't want to say being forced to feel, but I think that's because there's so much resistance, because these are the waters of emotions, but these are like guides and other creatures who are around. She's like an angelic, these are little angelic creatures, helpers, helper friends, people who are ushered in to bring things. So it's like the mask comes off, the deceptive mask, because there's, and I like it that both of these people are looking away from each other, okay? But there's guides and angels around doing the stuff in the background, because it's almost like it might be too strong for people to handle. And I don't know if it's because the chemistry is too strong, or if it's because the hot then bam cold was too strong, or if the not knowing is that way, or whatever it is. But so we have the masculine and the feminine doing the hot, cold, hot, cold. So, oh my goodness, it's already at like 16 minutes. Okay, so what I want to do is I am going to see if there's any more characters coming out for the week ahead. What I know for us so far is that there's going to be a conversation that's going to happen that's going to change. It's going to go from being something where we don't know and don't understand to becoming balanced, and then getting this like abundant tree of like wishes. It's like the tree of wishes, the wish tree. And the reason I think that it's so abundant is because both people are on the same page. But it's like at the beginning of the week, it's just no. He's resisting the feeling. She's thinking she's being rejected. It's just like every other time. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. He's like, I don't want to feel this. I don't like this. I just wanted to do this and this. But balance is coming. So expect some kind of conversation in one way or another. Okay, so I'm going to pull and see if there's any more characters coming out for us this week, and we're going to clarify all these with the regular tarot. So if you would like to see the rest, follow me over to Vimeo. The link for that is in the box below. And thanks again for stopping by. Please do like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week. Libra, have a good one.